Okay, here's what the bottom looks like right now with the liner. So the zipper would go way up here. You'd have this huge section here that would protect your zipper. Here would be one opening on one side. The zippered harvest panel would come down from this side and come down to here in the center, so you could access this side. And then on the other side you have another opening roughly the same size, and it's divided by this strap, real heavy duty. I've sewed it on really tight here. I did this like 5 different times, so of course the final product will look a lot nicer than this, but I think I got it figured out there. I mean, I'd actually almost contemplate doing a single harvest panel, but be pretty big. I don't think you'd have any risk of all this material coming out, but I think for right now I'm going to stick with 2 harvest panels, one on each side, to access each of these. Okay everyone, well, this is what I ended up with the liner. Ended up being more of an oval shape opening, and then I put a strap across the center of it, so you can really see the shape of it here from the bottom versus looking at it from the top. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut out some material and see if I can figure out how to do the cover for this. Okay, I got this sewed up, and actually I think it's going to work pretty good. Kind of looks like a boat. I mean, if I built that in my little canoe, but that'll actually be the access panel for the bottom. So we'll zip it on there and see if it works. Okay everyone, I got the panel on. I got it completely sewed on. I have the zipper connection covers on. What I did is I put a double zipper on this side. You can see the zipper down there, so it'll zip like this to that point, and then you can pull from the other side. And that way you can pull the zippers apart gently or whatever like this as far as you want to access it. And I did the other side with just a single zipper pull. I just want to try the difference. So this one, if you want to access it, you're going to have to unzip it all the way to here before the panel will start coming open. But it seems like it works pretty good. It's not perfect by any means right now, but so this side would open up for access into this harvest area, and this one would open up into this side for the harvest area. So basically the lids will just hang down like that if you had them both open at the same time. And like I said, I did put on the Velcro straps here, so they'll come over. It's hard to do it one-handed, and make a connection like that, and they'll hold each other, or hold when you're, if you want to do, you know, one panel. If you have this closed, it'll hold this side up over into the other side. So I'm going to take this down and hang it on the stand and contemplate putting some material into it and see what it looks like. Okay, this is the first prototype. Lessons learned for sure. I knew this from before, but I didn't do it, and it's even worse on this bag, is install the logo first. Once I have the top section, the main body built with the strap section on it, on the Mega or on the Maxes and the Minis, I go ahead and put the logo on then. On this one, I didn't at the time, but I really didn't know where I was going to put the logo anyway. But I put it on at the very end, and it's really, really difficult to sew on there because the top section is attached in the middle, so there's no easy way of getting at it. So I won't do that again. The panel came out pretty good. Like I said, I put a single zipper on the right side, so this zipper here will pull out here and then zip around the back side, and then you can unfold this side. The other one, I have 2 zippers on it, and so the zippers are located up there on the top, and you unzip it halfway on each side. And then nice thing about that is you can kind of adjust how much you want open. You don't have to actually open it all the way, where with a single zipper pull you kind of do. But the disadvantage is with the double zipper pull, especially on this number 10 zipper, there's a pretty good sized gap between where the zippers come together, so I mean, you might get an occasional worm sneaking out of it, but you know, I'm real happy with how the lid came out. I mean, if you look at the top of that and look at the top of the Max, I mean, they look pretty nice. Accessing it, again, is really simple. It's nice and smooth. It's tensioned really well. So the zipper is real simple to pull out. Oops. You pull it, access this side. And if you want to open both sides at the same time, you can. My zipper pulls it here. So unzip this side. And with that there, just pull this one over, and the lid will stay kind of in the center, and then you can get it this side and this piece will just stay there. But since I have two Max stands here, one on each side, I'm surprised. I mean, this thing is really stable. I mean, one thing I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and add a vertical leg on the front and the back here in the center, because I know a lot of weight. When it's fully loaded, that thing would probably start to sag a little bit. So, yeah, it's a smart thing to do. So it'll be a temporary stand. I don't want to make a stand for it yet either, because once I do the next bag, and I'll probably start portions of it here fairly soon. The portions I know aren't going to change, but the size, the dimensions of the stand really depend on the exact dimensions of the bag. And it's critical that you have these stands at the exact width that you need them, otherwise they don't support the bag very well. So I really need to have the bag before I can make the stand. So this one, I'm just going to keep it jerry-rigged, and I'm going to run it for a few months. I'm going to accelerate it. I'll do another video here. I'm going to pull the contents out of several minis that I have. I have an older one right here, and then another one over here. This is my African nightcrawler one, the new one that I had. And I have another one over there that I think I'll combine them all, pull all the worms out of the top of them, you know, for the most part. Then I'm going to throw a bunch of finished the bottoms of those minis I'm going to dump directly into this thing. So I'm going to have pretty much finished compost in the bottom of it. And I'm going to put a good 10 inches of finished compost in there. And then I'll add all those worms in there. So that way I'm hoping that within a month and a half or so, I should be able to kind of test out the harvest panel and see how it works. My main concern right now is to get, I want to get a bunch of weight on this thing and just see how it operates once it's pretty full. Because, you know, optimally, you're going to want to have the system up about this height, at least just underneath the logo probably, to be running it efficiently. That gives enough room here. The worms would be concentrating in this area here. And for the most part, all this stuff down here should be pretty well finished compost. So that's my goal, and I am going to feed this thing like crazy once I get it going. Now I'll go ahead and do another video. I was going to show one thing too. I haven't figured out, I'm still having, when I do the next harvest lid or the panel, how it sits right in this area here is kind of strange. I'll see after we get weight on it. When we get weight on it, this thing will tighten up, and the zippers, if you look at this Max over here, you can see how everything is nice and taut with the zippers. Same with this mini, this African Nightcrawler mini. It's real taut. So when I get weight in there, you know, the shredded paper I have in there right now just doesn't do it. You know, it doesn't fill in the crevices and stuff. All these little wrinkles will go away. So it's kind of difficult to see exactly how everything sits until you actually get, you know, something that'll fill all the voids 100% like compost. So anyway, I'll start another video when I start loading this thing up, and then we'll start the testing on our first prototype of VermiBag Mammoth. So this is Tom from VermiBag. Till next time, ciao.